Hey guys, and welcome to my review and unboxing of the DJI Phantom 3 Standard. This drone is intended for hobbyists, drone enthusiasts, and people looking to get off the ground with their first drone. Found in the box is everything you need to get up and running for the first time. Included is the drone's charger, its battery, the drone itself, the transmitter and its USB charger, 4 extra propellers, some replacement parts for the camera and its stabilization system, some stickers used to customize your drone, and the user manual. It is possible to fly without a device like a phone, but I recommend using one as it greatly eases the flight and gives many features to enhance your experience. The Phantom is compatible with iOS and Android. Sorry, Windows users. Setting up the drone is simple. First, you're going to want to screw the propellers onto the drone. You will need 2 blacks and 2 silvers. The black propellers go onto the front left and the back right of the drone and tighten by spinning them to the left. The silver propellers go onto the front right and back left of the drone, and they are tightened by spinning them to the right. Make sure they're tight, but not so tight that you'll have trouble getting them off. Then, you're going to want to download the DJI Go app. Make sure you're getting the one that has Phantom 3 in the description to ensure compatibility. Next, turn on the transmitter, then connect your phone or tablet to the transmitter in Wi-Fi settings. Next, turn on the drone itself with a quick then long press of the circular button on the back. Be sure to hold the long press until the gimbal starts to dance around. And finally, enter the DJI Go app, and the app should recognize which drone you're connected to. Press the camera button once it turns blue, and then you're ready to go. You will see a live video feed streamed to your phone of what the drone sees that has minimal delay, which is actually really useful. This advanced app gives such helpful information to help the pilot fly. The app provides telemetry such as the horizontal and vertical speed of your drone, as well as a map or radar depending if you have cellular data on, and the drone's distance away from its takeoff point. It also tells the pilot the signal strength between the controller and the drone to make sure you don't get too far away and lose connection. Something I really recommend is making sure your Phantom is in GPS mode before you take off, as well as making sure you have enough satellites to fly in GPS mode safely. At the top of the screen, there's a GPS icon that has a number beside it. The drone needs at least 6 GPS satellites connected to it to fly in GPS mode. And if you're having trouble acquiring enough satellites, make sure it's in an open area with no roof above it. Taking off is as simple as hitting a button on the left-hand side of the screen and then sliding to confirm your takeoff. The drone will hover just above 1 meter or around 3.5 feet and wait for your controller's input. If you're in GPS mode, the drone will stay within a foot or so of its position. Flying in an open area is recommended for beginners. The Phantom is powered by 4 very efficient and powerful motors. Without any wind, the drone tends to top out at a speed of about 57 kilometers per hour or 35 miles per hour. However, when dealing with high winds, the fastest my drone ever flew with a tailwind was 68 kilometers per hour, or about 42 miles per hour. In terms of the drone's agility and nimbleness, it's a nice balance between being fast and smooth. It's not jittery fast like some nano drones or race drones, but it's definitely not sluggish. The drone's range depends on a number of things like your surroundings, how well aimed the controller is, and if there's any interference messing with the connection. The best ranges will be observed in open settings such as the countryside and away from power lines. The farthest I've flown it away from me is just over 400 meters or a little over 1,300 feet. It is rated for 1 kilometer of range, but I have not been able to get that. Being a DJI Phantom 3, you can expect many useful and convenient AI or artificial intelligence features to help you get the shot you want and stay safe while flying. One of my favorite features of the Standard is its ability to maintain its same height and horizontal position in GPS mode. This means you can lift your hands off the controller sticks completely and not have to worry about your drone drifting away and hitting something. This feature is also awesome when your drone is faced with an obstacle. Your best bet in a situation like that is to let go of the sticks completely and the drone will stop itself. Another great feature to keep your drone in your hands and in one piece is the Phantom's RTH or Return to Home feature. At any time, you can hit the button underneath the takeoff and land button and use the same confirmation technique to initiate RTH mode. The drone will fly to a safe altitude set by you, the pilot, and then flies itself to the GPS coordinates of its takeoff point, then lands very close to it. If connection is lost between the drone and the controller, the same RTH sequence should initiate, although this has to be configured in settings. The Standard provides some artificial intelligence flight modes, even more useful for getting the cinematic shots that you want. To access the features, the metal switch on the top right of the controller must be pulled down all the way. This enters a mode where the drone icon appears on the left-hand side of the screen underneath the Return Home and Landing/Takeoff button. Clicking this will allow you to choose your AI mode. There will be in-app tutorials on how exactly to use each of these modes as well. These include Point of Interest mode, which makes your drone circle around a set position at a speed of your choice, Waypoint mode, in which you are able to map out a route with multiple waypoints that your drone will follow autonomously. You can also control the drone's speed during its course, similar to the Point of Interest mode. A super cool one as well is Follow Me mode, where the standard will follow the GPS coordinates of the phone, making for super cool cinematic shots. However, this feature only works with phones and tablets with mobile data, so don't expect to be using this feature on an iPod Touch or most tablets. If you're wondering what the maximum height of the drone can reach is, I have no way of knowing. Where I live, the legal limit without an FAA license is 90 meters, but I'm sure it could reach much greater heights. I strongly advise checking the legal altitude limit for a hobby drone or plane before flying to know exactly at what height you should stop flying to avoid any trouble with the law. The drone has a medium capacity 4,480 mAh LiPo battery. I hovered the drone, not touching any controls, down to 30% battery. I got just over 17 minutes of flight time, so you should expect just under that for the average flight times of your drone. It is a smart battery, so that means it delivers information about itself to the DJI Go app, like the battery percentage, and if you dig deeper into the settings, you can see things as advanced as the voltage of each cell inside the battery and its temperature, as well as the estimated time remaining in the flight. And now, the aspect of this drone that most impressed me, the camera. The camera mounted underneath the Phantom 3 standard is remarkable. It shoots a maximum of 2.7K video at 30 frames per second, or a 1080p at the same frame rate. Even though it's not 4K, the number 2.7K doesn't do justice to the crispness and quality of the footage. It shoots 12 megapixel stills as well, which are equally as crisp and beautiful. What really makes this camera this good is the gimbal. This is a stabilization device that connects the camera to the body of the drone and really gives your footage the cinematic effect. If your drone tilts forwards, backwards, left, or right, the gimbal will remain exactly the same position due to its 3-axis stabilization system. Another super cool thing you can do with the gimbal is move it up and down using a dial on the controller. One small complaint I have is that with the gimbal angled up all the way, the propellers can sometimes enter at the top of the frame at high speeds. A simple way to avoid this is to angle the gimbal down a bit until the rotors disappear out of the frame. To get a good idea of the quality of the camera, I'll compare it to some other popular devices. Another pleasantly surprising trait about the Phantom is its durability. The propellers are slightly bendy. This is to prevent cracking as much as possible if there's any collision. There was an incident when my drone was flying when it accidentally flew into the side of my house, then fell back down onto the driveway. All the while, the propellers were spinning. Unfortunately, all 4 propellers were snapped, but thanks to DJI, the drone comes with 4 replacement propellers. The drone escaped the crash with only a few minor scratches on the motors. The upside of this happening is that I can now bring you good information and real-world experience about the drone's durability. As for the drone's pricing and availability, the price varies drastically depending on where and when you buy the drone. As of the time of this video, which is April to May 2017, the drone itself sells for about 650 to 700 Canadian dollars, which is around 500 American dollars, or just over 400 pounds. It's available in so many places, including stores like Best Buy, but overall, Amazon is your best bet at finding one of these. Overall, the DJI Phantom 3 Standard is a phenomenal drone equipped with great maneuverability, advanced AI features, and an amazing camera. I recommend it to someone who is looking to get their first entry-level hobby drone who wouldn't mind getting some sweet footage along the way, as well as getting to experiment with intelligent flight features and having multiple safety features to keep your drone and everyone else around safe. As a laid-back person and a videography and photography enthusiast, I don't see myself needing anything more than this for a long time. Have a great day and fly on.